Thank you, Madam President. Seems a little odd to be saying our goodbyes today. A little odd to be in our temporary chamber. A little odd to be talking about retirement when I'm 45, and retirement, I guess, when maybe our work is not yet done, and a little odd to be turning this chapter in life, but very much ready. You know, I started this journey 15 years ago as a city councilor. I was serving for the second time as president of our city council. And some of you have been here long enough that you'll remember when I say this, we'd gone through one too many unallotments. And when the chance came to run for the House, I jumped at that opportunity. 2 years later, the same opportunity presented itself to come over here to the Senate. Now that was a smart move on my part. So, Senate, definitely, those of us who have served in both bodies know that there are some cultural differences between the House and the Senate, and I think my personality is a little better fit here. I enjoyed watching over in the House. Enjoy much more being a part of the Senate. You know, I was reflecting for today, and I thought in my short time, I've served 8 years in the legislature. I've served in the House. I've served in the Senate. I've served in the majority. I've served in the minority. I've served with a Republican governor, and I ran out of fingers, I've served with a Democratic governor. So for a guy who likes civics and teaches it, it's not a bad run to cover all those bases in 8 years. You know, I've spent most of my adult life advocating for Lake Superior and Duluth. I think you all saw that yesterday. Thank you for humoring me when I put some information on your desk. But I've always thought it was part of my job to be a cheerleader, thanks Chuck, for our community. And so that was genuine. And the invitation was genuine as well. So, you know, it might make sense that I get a little personal or take it a little personally when either one of them are under attack. Because I love them both. It's going to be a couple of these moments. Thank you, Senator Goodwin, for laughs. Maybe got some of that out of there. I'm proud where I'm from. I'm proud to call that place home. And I feel very blessed every day to be from Duluth. And that opportunity to look out the window and see the big lake, it's just core to who I am. So from my perspective, members, I feel like we've done a lot to strengthen that state and local partnership that I care about during my time here. I look back and I see the state budget is stable. We haven't heard the word on allotment for a while, so that makes me happy. We've increased K-12 funding. We've done good work on county program aid. For communities like mine, we've done good work on local government aid. In my corner of the state, we've invested in the airport, our downtown, sanitary sewer infrastructure, the convention center, both my UMD campus and Lake Superior College, and a few more things yet, I hope, before my last year of this term is over. I've tried during my time here not to be agenda-driven. It's not who I am. I'm much more interested in being a champion for good policy and thoughtful process. I took a few runs at things like tax expenditures. Senator Ortman, when you were chair, thank you. We had a hearing on that bill and had that conversation. I've championed this really obscure issue, paying back our tobacco bond. Members, if we remember, that's still out there now that we have a little bit more money on our bottom line. I've worked on income tax reciprocity with Senator Miller and some others. And I've worked with many of you on supporting an increase in the threshold for constitutional amendments and the K-12 shift that all of us have done at one time or another. I will share with you, though, that the bill I remember most, and will probably always remember most, is the one that helped my community recover from the flood in 2012. What happened during those 11 days of rain is something that I will remember for the rest of my life. I think some of you saw the little YouTube videos I tried to do from from the middle of it, just so you had a sense for what was going on. My wife knows that at home I have a piece of bedrock that I took from underneath one of the streets that is simply just washed away. It's one of the reasons I've advocated, Senator Stump, I've advocated so hard for our Lake Superior Zoo because it was damaged and is yet to be made whole from that flood of 2012. But members, I want to say thank you. I want to take this opportunity. I was so proud of this body. That was a time of crisis, and this body rose to meet it. Didn't matter what label you had, didn't matter what part of the state you came from, didn't matter that I was in the minority. This body acted, it acted quickly, and you all helped to do that. And so I'm very appreciative. You know, members, I never intended to do this for a lifetime or a career. I think the legislature is designed to be part-time. I believe in that. I think that's a good intent. I think it's important we all have homes to go back to and other jobs to do, that we stay in touch with our folks at home, that we stay grounded in that place. And I feel like I've taken my turn at the oars, and now it's time to let someone else share that responsibility. I'm a big believer that life, if you listen and pay attention, life nudges you in certain directions. And I try to take that time to listen and reflect. And when I look at my own life, frankly, moving on became a pretty easy decision. I look at so many amazing things that have happened that I just never would have predicted even a couple years ago. From a promotion in the Navy, to now finishing 2 years of law school, and then of course to meeting and marrying the love of my life. So members, I'm ready to turn the page, and I'm excited about what comes next. And I know I'm not a big floor speaker. I think Senator Franzen timed me last week, and I presented a bill in less than a minute, which is much more my style, so he'll indulge me. I do want to say a few thank yous. I want to thank everyone at home who took a sign or made a donation or trusted me with your vote. You may not always have agreed with the outcome, but I hope you appreciated what I consider to be thoughtful approach. Madam President, thank you for the opportunity to preside. I really enjoyed that role. I hope, members, that when I was up there you felt respected and treated fairly. To the members in this chamber that are on the Legislative Audit Commission, thank you. My one and only time to have a gavel and be the chair. But I really believe in the work. I'm proud to have been a part of that commission. I think it contributes a lot to our process. I hate to single out any single member, but Senator Miller, thank you. You've been a great friend and a great partner. I'm proud of the work we've done with the Purple Caucus, and I'm really proud that it will continue beyond me. We all know, of course, and we've heard that a couple times already, staff run this place, and thank you to all of you. And I've been very fortunate to have a great one in Jamie Ebert. She's been with me now for 3 years. It took a little bit to find her, to find the right person, to find that right fit. But I will tell you, and I will tell everyone at home that is listening, that there is no greater advocate for our community. And Duluth owes her, and I owe her heartfelt appreciation. Thank you. Members, there are so many friends that sustain us. I know that's true for all of us, and that certainly is true for me. I think about personal friends. One of them is here today, Noah Hobbs, and my friend Dan Hartman at home, both of whom were started as campaign volunteers and maybe mentees at one time, and now have gone on to earn their own election certificates and serve in their own right. I think of my good running buddies. We're called the Three Amigos. Pat and Glenn, who didn't talk about this place unless I wanted to. And I got to go home with them and just be me. And mostly they just got me out on really long Saturday morning runs, and we'd kind of decompress, which I think is important for all of us in our own way. I think of my friends Dan and Pock and Doug and Marissa, who many Sunday nights fed me. And they sent me back down here, sustained both in body and soul. You know, and many of us have mentors. I'm very fortunate to have someone at home I call my Duluth dad. Over nearly a decade, we have met every Friday for coffee. And thank you, Gary, for that investment. You have helped make me both a good man and now, I think, a good husband. To my family, both of whom are next door in 1100. The one I was born into and the one that last year, I guess, I was fortunate enough to be invited to join. I think some of you know I'm the oldest of 7. I have 5 adopted sisters. All of them are non-white. All of them have disabilities of some sort, ranging from mild to severe. And all of that was growing up in small-town Minnesota. So as you might imagine, I learned a little bit from that experience about leadership and service. And I've also been blessed to marry into a family that believes in hard work and also believes in service. My father-in-law who's here today and next door is a Vietnam veteran, and I want to take this opportunity to thank him for his service. I think some of you know, because you know us personally, my last name is Reinert, and my wife's family's last name is Reinhardt. So it's kind of funny. Only life works in that way, right? All of my life, I remember telling my mom when I met Layla and things are going well, and I said, "You won't believe." And she just went, "You've got to be kidding me." But the fun thing is, and only the way that God works now, when I get my last name mispronounced, it makes me think of my other family, so it turns into a good thing. And most of all, I just want to say thank you to my beautiful and amazing wife. I think of just over 3 years ago, we had this great civil, respectful debate about marriage equality on this floor. I've never watched my comments from that day because they were just, frankly, too personal. Was from the heart. But I do remember clearly talking about why I was voting yes. And it was because I just couldn't imagine denying to somebody that which I wanted in my own life. And many of us know, at least I do, until you find that person, you wonder if you will. Or at least I did. It's kind of funny, I think back, standing there, little did I know I'd met her 6 years before we had that conversation. And then little did I know that we would meet again just a year later. So, but we didn't truly find each other. God brought us together. And I just got to say, baby, thank you. You are my best friend and my greatest cheerleader. Always saying and doing just the right thing exactly when I needed it. So I just have to let my friends in this chamber know you truly are my greatest earthly blessing. And finally, members, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I built some of the most amazing friendships with some of the most unlikely people in this chamber. And kind of like has been mentioned, there are some parts of this that I'm not going to miss, but I will truly miss the people and the opportunity to see you. I always think of when we come back, it feels like we've been on summer recess, and it's the first day back at school. We can't wait to see each other and say hello, and what have you been up to, and what have you been doing, and catch up. And I will miss that. We all are in this crazy fishbowl together, and frankly, no one else can truly appreciate. Even the ones that stand outside the door and they're here every day until you've had the certificate and you're on the chamber, have to make that vote, make that tough call, you just don't know. So I do hope you'll stay in touch. I hope when you come north, which you are all invited to do, that you will look us up. I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I know that service will be part of it because it is a part of who I am. It's a core conviction. It's a guiding principle. I've said to a lot of people, I won't necessarily have more free time. I'll just have more freedom over how I spend my time. And yes, it's entirely possible that you could see my name on a ballot again one day. I said I never intended to do this for decades, but there are just so many other things that I want to do in this one life God has given me. But I feel richly blessed for the journey and the experiences and the honor I've had to represent my community, to be the senator from Duluth. And it's been such a privilege to serve with and among you. I think some know, I always try to have some intention with the lapel pin I choose for each day. So over the last 4 days, I've chosen. 4 days ago, it was my City of Duluth lapel pin to honor my service on the City Council. 3 days ago, it was my House member pin. Yesterday, it was my State Senator pin. Today, it's the seal of the great state of Minnesota. Minnesota. You know, I came here a Minnesotan, and I'm going to leave here a Minnesotan. And that's the tag I love the best. So thank you all. It's really been an honor and a privilege.